Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Today we have Ghost Recon on the chopping block. Now we do not necessarily have Ghost Recon Breakpoint as the subject matter, but we do have Ghost Recon Future Soldier as a subject matter. So if you're seeing footage that flips back and forth, it is based on the fact that, yeah, they're all Ghost Recon games, whatever. So one of the best things that I enjoy about doing YouTube is I learn so much from reading the comments. I'll spend time doing so. It reduces my learning curve on a lot of issues, and I really enjoy the way that people put feedback into our conversations. Now, one of the biggest comments, or I would say requests, or even homework assignments, that's what I'm going to call it, that I've been seeing pop up is some of you have been saying, go back and play the old Ghost Recon games. And I said I will. In fact, I did try, and Ghost Recon Future Soldier had been on my radar for a while, and I think I had it on my Uplay account from like 2017 when I purchased the game, but the game continues to crash. The game is in a poor state right now. I don't know why. I thought maybe if I go on Steam and buy the Steam version, maybe there's something that Steam must have done, some magic, but even the reviews on Steam mention that the game will not even run because it's an old game and it doesn't seem like there's any support for it. So I finally took the deep dive because I knew exactly that if I wanted to play this game, I would have to go play a console version. So I went and finally got myself a copy on the Xbox 360. Now it's on order. I went on eBay to get one. They're not selling one in any of the official gaming places. I'm sure Microsoft has digital copies, but come on, I don't want to pay $20 for that. So I just got a used copy that should be, arriving here in the next few days. But nonetheless, I tried with my OG gaming computer device, which is my laptop, and I've noticed that there is a problem that's significant in the game in a specific point. Now, I want to make sure I point out this particular issue in this video, just in case there are 5 developers in Ubisoft Paris or Ubisoft Bucharest or Red Storm that has access to some of the files that can actually pinpoint what might be going on. But it seems like the second phase of your very your very first mission, I wouldn't say the intro mission, yeah, that plays fine. But once you get to the second phase where you now have to stealth into this compound and try to rescue your target, there is a hard crash that happens. The game shuts down instantly. And this is something that I don't necessarily know what's causing it. And I just wanted to make sure I highlighted the specific point where this issue is happening. But nonetheless, it is something speaks of a game where the initial impression that you get from that game drives you to want to go back and play the game again, and I strongly believe that that is a true mark of a good video game. Now, yes, I know Future Soldier is not in a sense as old as the Advanced Warfighter games or the old Ghost Recon games, and that they also have their different mythos or whatever it is you want to call them, the way their setting is and all the other things. But if no one has played all those other games and for the first time, or in a time when Call of Duty, a lot of these other games were pretty much, coming out like water, action games that were shooting games, everybody was competing at that time. Everybody wanted to get your dollars, and so many good games were born out of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, time frame. Then it's obvious that this game was a game that came out to contend with all those other games, even to the fact that the game right now seems like an almost timeless game. Yes, there are dated elements, but still, it doesn't necessarily matter. The game seems really solid. I enjoy the cover-to-cover mechanics. I enjoy the cover-based gameplay. As a Division player, this is at the core of the things that I enjoy in the Division, and to me, I expect to see in almost any third-person shooter if I'm playing it. You got to be able to snap the cover. And that is a mechanic that really does make your gameplay in a third-person sense feel more organic. In a first-person play, you can basically just run in behind, a blockade or whatever. But in the third-person game, your character snapping to cover is a very big deal. Like, you have to be able to just use that and then use the camera to visualize around corners and be able to take out enemy NPCs. And they added all of the different elements that would make you feel like, oh, you were enjoying the movement and then enjoying some of the camera systems that the other first-person games provided. Now, yeah, we have these things in Breakpoint, nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that at that time, you could see that there was a heightened level of, I would say competition. Yes, that's what it was in that time period and in that time frame. Now, today's day and age, though, seems really different. You see, a lot of those companies back then that were vying for our dollars have grown massive and big. And so it's like, you know, the proverbial, they grew fat and lazy. That's why we got to see a bunch of crappy games come from these studios that had already made a lot of good games in the past. It could be one of those things. It could also be that the OG developers, the OG game designers, and the OG writers had finally retired and left. You know, game development is not necessarily one where you're going to make too many games. If you're a seasoned industry developer, you're going to make maybe, you know, if you're an industry developer or a seasoned developer, you're probably going to have like 4 or 5 games under your belt. And I'm talking in the position of leadership. That's say you led a studio to bring out a big, massive game, if you were to, you know, kind of put it that way. So you probably have 3 games or 4 games underneath your belt before you finally retire or say, okay, I'm good here. If you have anything more than that, then man, you're on the prolific side of the whole game design and, you know, leadership stuff. So this is something that I definitely think, you know, hopefully I'll get my time to play it, but I wanted to go ahead and just highlight the nature of that game. And I think game developers, especially Ubisoft and their, you know, little sister studios, will benefit a lot if they continue with the little elements that made their old games really good. They need to get hungry again. And I think that's what I wanted to basically highlight in this video. But thank you guys so much for the recommendation. And like I said, this is just an update on it. I'll try my best to get into playing it even a little bit more. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks so much for watching the video, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Peace out.